Welcome to Knife Thoughts. This video is going to be on the 2026 Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous. So we're about a month out from the Rendezvous now, and I have been meaning to make this video since the Rendezvous finished. So I decided I am just going to do it, even if I don't have everything that I wanted to put together for this video edited. So there might be a follow-up video to this, particularly on a really cool collection that I saw at the Rendezvous. But if you're not familiar, the Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous is a yearly get-together at the factory in Titusville, Pennsylvania. And I'm really lucky to live not too far away, about an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, something like that. But people come from all over. There were people from Alaska, people have been there from Australia, pretty much, the whole world. People come to the Rendezvous who love Great Eastern Cutlery knives. And I have been going for a long time. I have been going since 2014, so this was my, 12th year, depending whether or not you count the unofficial Rendezvous that was held in 2020. And it's always a great time. For the past several years, I have set up a booth or a table or whatever you want to call it, just to show off knives and basically talk to people. So you can see that here. And one of my favorite, that's really my favorite thing about the Rendezvous, is seeing people, seeing old friends, meeting new people, especially people from online that I have, conversed with, and getting to talk to people in person and share collections and thoughts on knife thoughts. And that's really the draw of it to me. Part of that I really enjoy is the past, couple years, I have been giving away Barlows to any kids that come up to my table. So this year I gave away, and I think maybe last year too, but definitely this year I gave away these Rough Rider weight and bone mini Barlows, and I really like these. I think that they're very good little knives for being super inexpensive. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I really enjoy doing that. If you come to the Rendezvous and bring your kids, by all means have them stop at my table, and hopefully next year I'll be doing the same thing. But I really did enjoy that because it's great to share the enjoyment of knives with kids. I know I love knives when I was younger, and always enjoyed getting to see my dad and uncle and grandfather's knives. So that's one of the things that I really like about it. But of course there is the knives. And so I have been collecting the Rendezvous special knives for the years that I've been going there. And what this is, as you can see here, it's a knife that is made to basically commemorate the event. So each year they make a special knife, and this year was the 20th year of Great Eastern Cutlery. From 2006 to 2026. So it was a kind of a special year, and I really wanted to get it, even though I have actually kind of already filled up the display case that I have for these, which you can see here. But couldn't help but try to get one this year also. And so these are always special knives that I really enjoy getting, but they're always difficult to get. So people line up crazy early for the Rendezvous, and it's been getting earlier and earlier, particularly for the really hardcore people each year. So this year the Rendezvous starts on Friday, so Friday morning, and then it's also on Saturday. This year people got to Great Eastern Cutlery at least as early as the Saturday before the Rendezvous. So almost a full week of hanging out there at the factory. And now I think that they do go and shower at hotels or get food, things like that. I don't really know because I haven't stayed that long, but I don't think that they're there in their chair the whole time. But still, even still, that is intense, right? I think they and we all can agree that that's intense. And people who I know well and are friends with do that. But you get in line, and for the past couple years, another one of my friends, Lee, who is in the Barlow Bearcat Club, has been making these kind of brass tags with your number, so that you know what number in line you are, and that helps to know what where you are in line up until the morning of the Rendezvous. And this year, another friend of mine, Rick, had these made. So these are number 16 canoe pattern liners. And so it turned out that they were making the canoe pattern. They are now, as I film this, they're coming out. And so Rick had these made also, so that's really, really cool. And it's a nice little token of the event, but it also shows you what number you are up until, again, the morning of the rendezvous, when GEC workers, specifically Rose, who is one of the workers at GEC and a very kind of bubbly personality that's always nice to see at the rendezvous. She hands out actual tickets. She's like the ticket master, basically. And so you kind of like show your brass tag and get a ticket. Well, I got there at, I'm thinking about 5 a.m. on Friday, and I was 90th in line this year. So, I think a lot of people got there really early, and then some people, came in Thursday and Friday, but I ended up being 90th in line. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get a rendezvous special this year, or at least on Friday. But I really appreciate that Great and Cutlery, Bill, and everyone there, William, have been making more of these rendezvous specials. So the first few years that I was there, it was like 50 or something like that, maybe even less. This, I believe they made 150 of them, something like that. And they sold a good number of them, I think 90 on the first day. So I was like kind of guaranteed to get one. And there were actually a good number left, because a lot of people actually skip the rendezvous special to get the SFAs, or special factory orders, which is what these are, and I'll show you in a little bit. But the SFAs typically have lower production numbers than the rendezvous special and can be kind of more different maybe, but I always go for this. And so I did get one, and what it was this year was a number 64 swing guard lock back in stainless steel with American elk antler. So Gary, if you see this, thanks for providing the elk antler, or some of it. It's always cool to know where the covers are coming from. But this is a very cool knife. So you can see it's got this really cool American elk not stag, but American elk antler. And I looked through a couple of them. There were a lot of nice ones, but I went with this one. I just like, it's a very classic look to me. Another really cool thing about this is you can see it says 20 years on the swing guard. So a nice kind of commemoration of that. And then you can see also that it has this etch. And the nice thing with this being a stainless steel knife is that you don't have to worry about that etch, fading over time and things like that, which you can with carbon steel knives. And then you can see Special Assembly 2026 on the back here. I got number 121, which is also on the pile side bolster. And these are just super nicely made. You can see snaps closed nicely, sits well within the frame, nicely centered. This one has no play forward and back or side to side. Just a beautiful knife that I'm really happy to have gotten and to add to my collection. And especially because I really like these. I got one of the normal run ones to use, so I don't have to kind of feel bad about just displaying this one with the other rendezvous specials, because I get to use this one in ironwood. So that was the rendezvous special. And the first time I went through the store, what happens is you can only get 2 knives per trip through the store. So 2 of whatever knives, and that stops people from buying them all up and everything. And the first time through, I got this. So you can see that this is a number 15 TC in saw cut stained maple richlight, and it's one of 3. So that's a really low SFA number. But it's a Barlow, and that's really what I was looking for. So you can see it has this super classic looking saw cut richlight. For some reason, it seems like a lot of people don't like richlight. This is actually, I think, the first knife I've had with it. And I think it looks good. It looks very classic. It looks like a super traditional Barlow to me. So I'm really happy with it. This is with a 2026 blade. So it's got nice strong pull and all steel construction, which is always nice too. All steel construction, nice strong pull, nice snap. You can see the 2026 special factory assembly on the back, and nothing on the front of the blade. So just a I think a super, super classic looking Barlow. I was really happy with this one. And actually, when I got there, I was number 90th in line. All three of these were still available. I just like don't get it. I don't understand why people wouldn't have wanted this one. But then it takes a long time before you can go back through the line. And so that's when I kind of sat around and talked. And one of the really cool things is that Charlie Campagna was at the Rendezvous again this year. So I got to say hello to him. And of course, you know, talking to other people, being at my table and stuff, I didn't get to talk to him quite as much as I wanted. Another thing is I wanted to do an interview with him and didn't get a chance to, but we'll do it sometime in the future. But it's always great to see him. He helped, you know, helped me kind of get interested in Barlows in particular. So that's always great. And lots of other people too. I mean, there's so many people that it's always great to see. And one of those people is another person with a lot of knowledge on traditional, or not traditional, but vintage knives, and that's John Rao. And I meant to ask ahead of time, but didn't get a chance to, and was like, hey, John, do you have any Russell Barlows? I wanted to get another Russell. He actually gave me one at one point, but I wanted to get another one, particularly a single blade, because the Russell Barlows were what inspired the original Barlow Bearcat Club. And he had this one, and it's an interesting one. It seems like it was probably reassembled or refurbished. And there was actually a program for the original Barlow Bearcat Club for people who were members of it to send their knives in and have them refurbished or even rebladed if they were worn out to Russell. So it's possible that this is one of those. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert, unfortunately, in, you know, vintage Russell knives. But actually, Charlie said he was going to try to, you know, find out some more and give me more thoughts on it. So hopefully I'll find out more about this. But it's a really cool knife. I mean, the blade is super full, you know, very little sharpening. You know, there's some gaps and stuff because, again, I do think it was put back together. But you know, I think it's a legitimate Russell in the sense that it was put back together by Russell, but it's impossible to know really. But it was just a really cool knife that I'm happy to have picked up from John. And then the last knife that I got, I went through a second time and only got one knife. I did this last year, and this year I told myself I wasn't going to do it, but I did it. I only got one knife instead of getting two, and it was just because this was the knife that really interested me. Now I could have gotten another knife to, you know, I don't know, just have or sell to someone at cost, and probably I should have, but to me, I just like, there's something about buying a knife that I don't actually particularly want, that I don't love. And so I just got this one, and this is a number 15 glitter gold acrylic, number 1 of 34 SFA. Couldn't help myself. I love glitter gold. And actually, I have a rose gold 15 from the run in 2021. So I actually don't have a glitter gold. So I got this one, and again, super cool knife. Very classic in the sense of, you know, there were a lot of these kind of almost gaudy looking handles in the, you know, old knives. And so I love the glitter gold. I think it's really cool. And, you know, I couldn't help myself. And another just really classic knife, really cool knife, strong pull like all these 2026 number 15s, sits nice and well within the frame, nicely centered, no gaps, just a beautiful knife. I mean, I think that these 15s were some of the best knives GAC has made, certainly recently, and you can see the special factory assembly. Now, what actually makes it a special factory assembly? It's pretty similar. One thing is that the blade is a 2026 blade, so there's some slight differences in the long pull. So you can see that the swedge is actually longer on the, I'm confused which one this is. The swedge is longer on the 2021 version. You can see that the long pull is longer on the 2026 version. So that's one difference. And then the other difference is that the pins are steel on this 2026 version versus brass on the 2021. So, you know, kind of interesting in that, not huge differences, but a special handle material, and then, you know, this year's hardware versus the 2021. So just another really cool knife. I also want to show this here. Rick brought these, his dog Larry, so just a fun sticker. Then, of course, the other great thing about the Rendezvous is getting to see my fellow Barlow Bearcats. So a lot of people who are in the Barlow Bearcat Club come to the Rendezvous, and even more came this year, I think. and it really is a cool thing to get to see in person all of the people who, you know, the club is very active. We talk a lot on Discord, but it's great to see each other in person. And then we also do hold a meeting at the Rendezvous. So one of our normal meetings, which are usually just held online, we get to hold it in person because, again, it's kind of a gathering place of a good number of people who are in the club. So that's always one of the highlights for me also, and I think is kind of a really special thing. And so I want to say thank you to all of the Bearcats who came out to the Rendezvous and who said hi to me, talked to me, and then of course also who came to the meeting, which we held on Great Eastern Cutlery's front porch. So just another cool thing about the Rendezvous. And again, I had a great time. I got to bring my son to the picnic on Saturday, which was fun and very high energy having him there. And you know, always nice to be able to share that with my son. And he said he doesn't like when I go to the Knife Factory without him. He likes coming with me. So that's really cool. And got to see so many people again and talk to people there. I did get to talk to Charlie some more there. And, you know, I hate to not mention people because, again, the people is the thing that really is enjoyable about the Rendezvous to me. And like I say, I had another great year. Had a good time. I got some really cool knives, being that I'm a Barlow fan. And if you ever get a chance to come to the Rendezvous, I highly recommend it. If you're interested in it, you can always check out my articles on it, which I will have links to in the description. If you enjoy this type of video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell and select all so you know when I post new videos. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like these and knife topics like these. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.